Hello there, friends. My name is Briar Alba. I'm here with the Grazing Daisy. I am an 18-year-old college student who is passionate about teaching other people new things. As always, start small and dream big. Today I'm going to be going through some of my college textbooks. I'm currently in a Sustainable Agriculture Associate's degree. I have taken lots of classes so far, and most of them have to do with agriculture, farming, animals, all that stuff. So any of the classes that I've taken that I've gotten a textbook for, which is most of them, I just wanted to go through and talk about my textbooks, whether or not I would recommend them for people who are interested in learning more about sustainable agriculture, and go into kind of the reasons why I liked it or why I didn't like it so much. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, I'm not really gonna go in any particular order. I'm just gonna kind of show you books and tell you what I liked about them. So we're gonna start off with Four Fish by Paul Greenberg. This is by far one of my favorite books I've ever had to read for school. It's amazing. I would recommend this book to pretty much anybody. It's not really a textbook, it's more of an autobiographical style. The author, he interviewed a bunch of people about these 4 different main species of fish. So we got salmon, tuna, bass, and cod. So those are like the 4 main types of fish that are used for food around the world. It goes into all the different sustainability things, all that stuff. It talks about farming practices, wild caught practices, the difference between the two. One thing I found really interesting about this book is I constantly felt myself being tugged and pulled in the 2 different directions. Like you could almost feel the tension as you were reading, because like at one point you're reading it and you're like, okay, farming fish is bad, catching it wild is good, but at another point you're like, well, catching wild fish is bad, but farming it is bad, and then you think everything's bad, and then there's a part where you think everything is good, and then there's another part where you're like, well, we shouldn't eat this fish, but we should eat this one, but that one's bad because of this reason, and it's just a very complex issue. So I found it really fun to get into it and think about it, and I've been pondering this book ever since I've read it. Highly recommend you check it out. Up next, we have The New Organic Grower by Eliot Coleman. So this is actually the textbook I'm currently going through right now for my organic gardening class. So I'm in that one right now. I'm almost halfway through the class. So I actually have only read like 5 chapters in this book, but so far it's been very good, very helpful. There are a few parts of it that I just find confusing, like some of the different graphs that he uses just don't make much sense. It's a very good book, I believe, for people who are beginners to organic specific farming. So if you're interested in doing organic farming on maybe even a larger scale than just like a small homestead, this would be a great book to pick up. Eliot Coleman has a lot of experience in the field of organics. You know, just reading, even just a couple of these chapters, it was really good. It doesn't feel very beginner. I would say it's more of an intermediate level book. So if you have like a lot of interest in organic farming, or you already have kind of read some of the beginner books, this I feel like would be a great one to kind of expound on some of that knowledge. There's like a lot more information, a lot more specifics, goes into like a lot of different terms. So I would say, yeah, more of an intermediate level book, but so far I've been enjoying it. The copy I got here I think is signed. Oh, those are my sticky notes for one of my homework assignments. But look at that. I got a signature, so that's kind of fun. So yes, highly recommend this one so far. All right, next we have Botany for Gardeners. This is the 4th edition by Brian Capone, not really sure how to pronounce the last name, but this was for my botany class last semester. Not gonna lie, I was not a huge fan of this book at all. I am more of an animal person than a plant person, but I still love the plants, and I was still expecting to enjoy this book. Personally, I found most of the diagrams to be kind of lacking, a little boring. It used a lot of these like basic black and white drawings opposed to like real pictures, which I find very helpful, is like seeing the actual pictures of things. Yes, I just didn't really find myself really learning too much from this because I wasn't really wanting to read it, if that makes any sense. Mostly like very basic pictures, but that's really the only complaint. I betcha it's got lots of great information about all of like the botany things, like, talks all about plant reproduction and like different types of plants and leaf shapes and how all the stuff works, how the plants get nutrients. It definitely would be a good book if you're interested in botany. Personally, I just wasn't a huge fan of the diagrams, so that's kind of why I struggled sitting down and actually reading this book. But I would recommend it if you are interested in learning more about botany. I think it's a great one for that, but that's kind of my take on it. All right, this one's kind of an interesting one. It was the Ball Blue Book, so of preserving. This one is basically just like a bunch of canning recipes. We made a few of these in class, like we did carrots, we did a couple other random things, and so we used this book for our recipes and kind of went through a couple of things in class. It also, at the beginning of the book, talks about a lot of safety information. So this book is going to be fantastic for like a quick reference. Like right here, like I know this page in particular, we spent a lot of time on this page looking at this diagram. This is talking all about the acidity, alkalinity scale, water canner versus pressure canning, and the different things you should do for that and what recipes you should follow. It's highly recommended that you always follow approved recipes when you are canning, especially when you're starting out. There are some more experienced people that tend to sometimes test things out on their own, but they're also very experienced, so they kind of know what they're doing. But if you're a beginner canner and you just want some good recipes that you know you can trust, I would highly recommend you start out with this one. So there's over 500 recipes, and it says it's the ultimate guide for creating your own signature foods. So there we go. Highly recommend this one. When I was 16 years old, I went to a different technical college than I'm currently attending to take some of their agriculture classes, and one of the classes I took was farm business management. I do not like math, but I love finances. So I loved this book so much. It's called Fearless Farm Finances, and it's by Jody Padgham, Craig Chase, and Paul Dietman. So this is what it looks like. Highly, highly recommend if you are going to be doing any sort of farming on any scale. It's kind of, I think this is set up more for like a large scale, but I learned so much from this book, even though I'm only planning on doing very small scale farming. Super helpful. It's got everything you need to know. It's a little boring. There's no color. It's very textbook-like. It's very black and white, but I found it extremely helpful. It really explains all the math that you have to get into. It talks about how to be organized. It has like different tips and advice from other farmers and how they do things. So it's got places for notes. I mean, 10 out of 10, 5 stars out of 5. I would just recommend anybody starting farming, get this book. Last semester, I was in a cheese making class and I ordered the wrong textbook. It had the exact same name, Cheese Making Made Easy, by the exact same author, Ricky Carroll, and this was apparently not the book I was supposed to purchase. So it does not look like this. I will put up a picture right here of what it was supposed to look like. This book was really nice. It just basically had a bunch of cheese making recipes. It talks a lot about process and how it works and why it works, so all that was super helpful. I ended up checking it out from the library, which is why I don't have it, because obviously I purchased the wrong book, and then I couldn't really return this one even after I'd purchased it. So that's kind of the whole story behind that, but it was really good. The recipes were very easy to follow. It has all the steps and ingredients all listed out, and even though I had people helping me with the steps, I feel like I could have also just followed the book and been able to do everything. So I would highly recommend you get this book if you are interested in cheese making. All right, so I actually had 2 textbooks for my fish class. This one was more of the textbook type book for the fish class. So the other one was the 4-fish book. This one is aquaponic gardening. This one goes all into how to start an aquaponics garden and how to do all that. Take care of the fish, what fish to get, what setup to use. It talks through several different options. This is a great one. I learned a lot about this. I was like taking notes while I was reading it. It was really interesting. Although, once again, I just love color, and most of these, it's all just bland black and white words. A couple of colored pictures kind of in the middle to kind of show you some things. But yes, for the most part, it was pretty bland. This page, this brings me back to talking about the different systems. So it was very helpful. I enjoyed it, used it a lot. I actually read through, I think, pretty much the entire thing throughout the entirety of the class. If not the whole thing, then most of it. Yeah, so I just highly recommend this one. It has pretty much everything that you're gonna need to start your aquaponics garden. And it talks through large scale, small scale. It pretty much goes through everything. All right, up next, we actually have my least favorite book on this list. That is the Herbal Medicine Maker's Handbook by James Green. Yeah, I got a lot of problems with this book. Information-wise, it was actually pretty good. It has like lots of information about herbs and what they're used for, how to use them, different recipes. In that sense, it's all very good, very comprehensive. It's a pretty thick book, but it's very, I don't even know how to explain it, pagan. I'm a Christian, and a lot of the stuff that this guy was talking about, I do not believe in. He was talking a lot about worshiping plants. Plants are sentient beings. It was just very weird. Did not really appreciate it. You know, my professor tried to have us do some of that stuff in class, and I just was not really okay with it. So for that reason, I would never recommend this book to anybody. I don't know why I even still have it. I'm pretty sure after the class I was like, I'm getting rid of this thing as soon as I possibly can, but here it is. I guess it's here so I can tell you I don't really recommend this one. There are plenty of other good books out there about herbs. I have plenty more on my shelf that maybe I'll show you guys some other time, but do not recommend this one. Last but not least, we have the Organic Farming Manual. This is by Anne Larkin Hansen. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember reading much of this book. I think I maybe read like 2 chapters of it. I'm pretty sure I was assigned more than that, but I don't know. Maybe I just thought that the class kind of taught me everything, so I didn't actually read the book. But this one is very good. We did reference the book in class multiple times, so I do know what's in here. It's very good, very helpful, very comprehensive. Once again, it's black and white. It's boring, but it was very good, and it's got lots of like fun pictures. Like, I like these kinds of diagrams that are actually like fun to look at. Like cute little drawings that kind of help you visualize. But yes, I do believe that this goes through lots of different things that you would be doing. It has, I think, let me look at the table of contents. So this talks all about what organic means, talks about the story of organics, so the history, talks about finding land, talks about soil, equipment, plants, all about plants, garden crops, field crops, orchard crops, livestock, pigs and poultry, ruminants for meat, dairying, biodiversity, organic certification, so it talks about how to get certified, going to the market, how to sell your products, and the larger context, like how to be a good steward to the world that we live in. So I would recommend this book if you're really interested in organic farming in particular. I think it's really helpful. One of these days I'll probably page through it, dig through it, see what I can find. But yes, this I feel like is a good one to have on my shelf. All right, so there we have it, guys. Oh, this is really heavy. We got all of these books all about agriculture, fish, plants, animals, all of the above, finances, a whole bunch of stuff all about farming. I would recommend most of it. Let me know, what kinds of agriculture books do you guys have? Any recommendations for me? I love a good book, especially if it's about the things that I love. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever you feel inclined to do, and have a wonderful rest of your day.